Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greeting to us all. Honorable lecturer of the research method in public administration course, Mr. Rizky Saprio SHI MSc, and my dear friends. Let us express our gratitude to God Almighty for His blessing, so that we can attend and carry out today presentation in good health and participate in this discussion session. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Alvin Nanta, acting as the moderator who will guide today's presentation. The first presenter is Melati Japari, and the second presenter is Dina Adila Maharani. The topic we will discuss today is techniques for selecting research samples. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite the first presenter to begin.
Thank you, say to the moderator. The first is probability sampling. Probability sampling is a sampling technique that provides every member of the population with an equal chance of being selected as a sample. This technique is used when researchers want to generate data that can be generalized to the entire population. In probability sampling, sample selection is done randomly, thereby reducing the researcher's subjective bias. Probability sampling not only emphasizes equal opportunities for each member of the population, but also requires a clear sampling from frame so that all members of the population can be properly identified. Through the random selection process, this technique allows researchers to conduct statistical inference, namely drawing conclusions from the sample to the population scientifically, thus closely related to the external validity of the research. Several types of probability sampling include: the first is simple random sampling, which involves taking samples randomly without considering strata within the population. This technique is suitable for use when the population is homogeneous, as it does not require special grouping. In practice, sample selection can be done through the lottery, a random number table, or computer assistance, making the process simpler and easier to implement. However, although practical, this technique is less effective when the population is highly diverse because it does not guarantee representation of each group within the population. The second is stratified random sampling, which involves sampling based on specific strata or group within the population. This technique aims to ensure to each group in the population is proportionally represented. Stratified random sampling is a sampling technique that divides the population into several strata or groups based on certain characteristics, such as age, gender, or education level. This ensures that each group is proportionally represented in the sample, result in more accurate research result. The third is cluster sampling, a sampling technique based on specific regions or naturally occurring groups. This technique is often used when the population is widely distributed geographically, as it is more efficient in terms of time, effort, and cost. Although practical, cluster sampling has the disadvantage of positionally less accurate result than other technique, especially if the characteristic between groups differ significantly. Therefore, research need to ensure that the selected clusters are sufficiently representative of the population as a whole. Thank you so much. I return to moderator.
Non-probability sampling is a sampling technique that does not provide equal opportunities for every member of the population to be selected as a sample. This technique is usually used when researchers face a limitation in time, cost, manpower, or difficulty in accessing the entire population. Therefore, the selection of sample is based on the research subjective judgment rather than random selection. Main character of non-probability sampling does not use randomization processing. Samples are selected based on specific consideration. Not all members of the population have equal chance of being selected. More suitable for a qualitative or exploratory research. The result cannot be widely generalized. Tips of non-probability sampling extend. Purposive sampling. This technique selected sample based on specific criteria relevant to the research objective. For example, choosing information who have certain experience or knowledge. This method is commonly used in qualitative research because it focuses on obtaining in-depth information. Convenience sampling. Samples are selected based on ease of access, such as respondents who are easy to research. Although practical, this technique has a high level of bias because it does not represent the entire population. Number 3. Snowball sampling. Sampling begins with one or a few respondents and then expands through recommendation to other respondents. This method is suitable for hidden or hard-to-research population, such as certain communities. Number 4. Quota sampling. This technique determines the number of samples based on certain categories, and the researcher collects respondents until the quota is qualified. It's similar to stratified sampling but does not use random selection. Judgmental sampling. Samples are selected based on the research judgment regarding who is most knowledgeable about the research problem. It is commonly used when expert opinion are needed. Advantage of non-probability sampling. Number 1, faster and easier to implement. Number 2, does not require a complete sampling frame. Number 3, relatively low cost. Number 4, suitable for exploratory and qualitative research. Number 5, allow in-depth data collection. Disadvantage of non-probability sampling. Number 1, high level of bias. Number 2, not representative of the population. Number 3, cannot be statistically generalized. Number 4, low external validity. Number 5, highly dependent on the research subjectively. When to use non-probability sampling. This method is appropriate when number 1, the research is exploratory or qualitative. The population is difficult to identify or access. The research has a limited resource. Number 4, the focus is on deep understanding rather than the generalization. Example of application. For example, in research on public service in a village. Number 1, research may use purposive sampling by selecting village officials and community members who have used the surface. Number 2, or use snowball sampling to find information for specific group that are difficult to access. Okay, thank you. Then thank you. I would like to return the session to the moderator.
3. Principle of the sample selection. When selections in research sample, several important principles must be considered to ensure the research result remain valid and reliable. 1. Representativeness. The sample must be able to represent the characteristic of the population as a whole. This is crucial to ensure that research results do not deviate from the solicitation. Adequate sample size. The number of sample must be sufficient to statistically describe the population. Larger the sample, the smaller the sampling error rate. 3. Randomization for probability sampling. Namely, sample selection must be done randomly to avoid bias. 4. Efficiency. Normally, the selection of sampling technique must be adjusted to the limitation of resource. Approaches to research objective. Sampling technique must the selection according to the type and approach of the research by considering these principles. Researchers can project data that is not only accurate but also the relevant to the research objective. 4. Purposive sampling. Purposive sampling is a technique in which participants on a deliberate selection based on the specific criteria and consideration that are relevant to the research objective. In the approach, the researcher doesn't choose the randomly. This technique is commonly used in quality research, where its focus is on depth of understanding rather in generalization to a large population. For example, in a study about public policy implementation, the researcher may choose information such as government advisory, policy analysis, or community leaders who have direct experience in the policy process. 5. Quota and snowball sampling. Quota sampling as a researcher determine the sample size based on the specific categories such as the number of men and women. Sampling is technique in which research determine the number of participants needed for the specific categories or group within the population. These characteristics are usually based on certain characteristics such as gender, age, education level, or occupation. Snowball sampling is a sample obtained usually where initial respondent recommend substantiation. Respondent disease technique is suitable for hard to reach population. On the hand, its technique is where sample is obtained gradually start different from initial participants. Researchers begins by selection in a few individuals who meet the research criteria and then attempt to recommend or connect the researcher with other potential participants. In selection and sampling technique are divided into probability sampling and non-probability sampling, each with this on the distinct function. Probability sampling is used to obtain generalizable result because a simple selection is random, while non-probability sampling is more emphasized the data depth and although it is less generalizable. Therefore, the selection of a sampling technique representative.
Conclusion, sampling techniques are broadly divided into probability sampling and non-probability sampling, each serving different purposes in research. Probability sampling is primarily used when the goal is to obtain results that can be generalized to the wider population, as it relies on random selection and gives each member of the population an equal chance of being included. This method enhances the representative of the sample and strengthens the validity of statistical inference. On the other hand, non-probability sampling is more flexible and practically and especially in situations with limited time, resource, or access to the full population. It focuses more on obtaining in-depth and detailed data, making it particularly suitable for exploratory or qualitative research. Even though the findings may not be easily generalized. Therefore, the choice of sampling technique should not be made arbitrarily but must carefully consider several important factors, including the level of representativeness required, the size and characteristic of the sample, time and cost efficiency, as well as the overall research objectives. Research must align the sampling strategy with the research design to ensure that the data collected are both valid and realizable. By selecting the most important sampling technique, research can improve the quality of their findings, minimize bias, and produce results that are both meaningful and scientifically sound.